Welcome to another episode of Extreme Warfare Revenge, WCW 2001. We have just had our third pay-per-view of the year, Greed 2001, and it went pretty well. We got 75% rating for it, and it was around this time in real life when WCW were bought out by Vince McMahon. So we are still in business, we're still here, and we are here for Monday Nitro, the day after the pay-per-view. So, a lot of the guys who were fighting on the pay-per-view, in fact, the only one who was fighting last night, who's fighting here tonight, is Ric Flair, believe it or not, probably the oldest guy in the company. And if you watch my last video, he said that Booker T was working too stiffly or whatever, and he wanted a few matches with Goldberg. Now, if he'd have said that a few weeks ago, I could have put Goldberg in a feud with Ric Flair, possibly, and it could have boosted Goldberg's morale up a lot because he's currently at about 11%. It went down even more because he didn't appear at Greed, but I couldn't put him on the pay-per-view when his morale was low. So, the plan is just to really utilise him over the next coming weeks and see if that makes any difference. So he's going to beat Ric Flair cleanly. No disqualification or anything. He's going to win cleanly. But the aftermath, Kevin Nash is going to run in and he's going to make a failed attempt on beating up Goldberg. So Goldberg's going to get over in this match. We'll see how it goes anyway. But we're going to open up with just a fun little hardcore match. M.I. Smooth, Brian Knobbs, Major Stash, three guys who haven't appeared for a while. This is Goldberg calling out Flair. He's basically going to say, look, or is it Flair calling out Goldberg? One of them's going to call out the other and say, look, you got battered by Booker T, blah, blah, blah. See if you can beat me. That sort of thing. And that's just going to be it in terms of that. David Flair hasn't appeared for a long time, but he's been brought in to job to AJ Styles. David Flair's quite a bit more over than AJ Styles, so AJ Styles winning cleanly over David Flair should do him a lot of good. Got an interview with Kevin Nash here to keep his feud with Goldberg going on, saying, look, arranging matches with Ric Flair, you got me to get through first. That's going to sort of heat up that feud a little bit. Chris Canyon's going to win cleanly over Terry Funk. Jeff Jarrett has just requested to be higher up the card, which is main event, so he could be in for a world title picture very soon. At the end of his feud with Dustin Rhodes, he could lose that US belt to go on to bigger and better things. But this angle's just to celebrate Jarrett's recent success, and he plays a fantastic heel, and he could very well take over from Ric Flair when he retires at the end of the month. Lance Storm and Jim Duggan are going to win over General Rection and Sergeant AWOL. Interview with DDP to voice his disapproval of Buff Bagwell, his last two victories over him, which have been by cheating. The Cat's not appeared for quite a while, so he's going to come and he's going to beat Mike Sanders, who hasn't appeared much either. Then we've got an interview with Scott Steiner to say that he's going to get Sting back for taking his belt. Agreed. So that is the story of Monday Nitro on the 12th of March 2001. Let's start the show. Okay, that really didn't go down well. Didn't expect it to get a great rating, but I expected it to do a bit better than that. That Goldberg calls out Ric Flair, 88%. That did well. That should do Goldberg some good. David Flair lost overness, AJ Styles gained overness. That's absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. I don't care about David Flair. He's not got much of a future here. And when I do open a development territory, David Flair is going to be sent to it. So this has done AJ Styles some good. Kevin Nash his interviews haven't been quite as good recently even. I think that's just a morale thing as well. After his feud with Totally Buff didn't go quite to plan. Chris Kanyon, Terry Funk. Good score, good rating there. Jeff Jarrett in the ring. Jeff Jarrett always cuts a good promo. Misfits in Action Team Canada. I expected that to do a little bit higher, but that's okay. DDP, that went down well. We have a Cat and Mike Sanders. Match quality. I thought it'd be higher match quality, to be fair, but there we go. Scott Steiner, that went down very well. Now we have got the main event coming up. The main event, Goldberg, Ric Flair. This, I'm hoping, does very well. I'm hoping it boosts Goldberg's morale. Okay, Goldberg was sluggish and didn't put much effort in, but he won clean. Overall rating was very good. Match quality not good. Crowd was still well up for it. Goldberg hits a jackhammer. Kevin Nash has been left down on the canvas. The attempted ambush has backfired. There we go, Goldberg. 68%, not bad. That rating obviously brought down by that terrible opening match. Let's see what we have here. 5.67 for Nitro. That's pretty good compared to what we have been doing, but we're still quite a bit behind Raw, and it's going to take a while. Let's see what we've got. Buff Bagwell wants... Did I read that right? Buff Bagwell wants a match against Wayne DeBruce. Why? I do not know. I don't see what good that will do him, but you will get your wish at the next show at Thunder. Buff Bagwell is going to face Wayne DeBruce. I think we all know what way that is going to go. Goldberg and Ric Flair work pretty well together due to their similar styles. Do they have similar styles? I wasn't aware of that, but there we go. Goldberg was at 11%. He's gone up to 13%. And if we give him a segment each show, because his interviews are doing all right, let's give him an interview at the next show and see if we can gradually build his morale back up. But I think when they get below 50% morale, they appear in the unhappy workers list here. Nobody in poor condition. Finance, yeah, doing all right. Writing staff, nothing to report here. You can see how Jeff Jarrett is really climbing up the ladder. Chris Kanyon as well. I've not really used him since his feud with Booker T. Maybe he could go into a feud with the Cat. I think that would be quite a logical thing to do because the Cat's not done much since Jeff Jarrett. Kanyon and the Cat. So see what we can do there. But yeah, another good show. And next we will be back for Thursday Thunder on the 15th of March.